guys, welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast.
Hey,
Jesper's like mouthing me something before I hit the main screen. I'm like, what? What did you say?
I didn't say
Can you say?
anything.
Can
You were
say it
saying
now?
to me.
Oh,
You're like shaking your head at me. I think, what?
oh, because you were.
Yeah.
I thought he was stroking out.
Hey,
Thanks, guys, so much for joining us. This is episode 156, I believe.
56.
If you can do me a favor, if you can hit that like button, subscribe on YouTube, and of course on Facebook, we would really appreciate it. Head to gigeconomyshow.com for our newsletter that
When are we sending one out again?
we said quarterly, so
right.
we sent one out for July, so September maybe.
Well, we
that
do
would
send
be
out. We send out one and like a notice Monday morning, Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever the news show posts, and I get around to it.
Yeah.
We send out a notice. So, but I do. I want to engage with all you guys to please go and sign up for our newsletter, because this is a great way for us to kind of talk with you, and we don't have that many subscribers. I'd like to see a bump in the subscriber list. So if you're not already signed up, go sign up.
We should put an Easter egg in there somehow. Can you do that? And like if someone finds it, we'll get like a keychain or something.
Sure, we can put an Easter egg. We can figure that one out. Put me on the spot, will you?
So, well, I'm just saying, I don't know how complicated that is.
But go sign up for the newsletter, because we don't talk that often. We don't spam you. And it's kind of cool to know that you're out there listening.
Yeah, for sure. I'd like to thank our Patreon members: Larry from Bowling Green, Samson from Grand Rapids, Steve from Colorado, Chris from Grand Rapids, Bud Dickman from North Carolina, Tom Kelly from Houston, Omar from Detroit, Delivery Cats from Michigan, Jamie from Tennessee, and our new subscriber as of this week, can't thank you enough, Frank from Philly, who was on the B-side last week.
He was. And so if you haven't listened to that, go listen to that, because Frank has some cool stories.
What was so cool about it?
I just thought it was cool that he is here, and he's been doing it for a long time, and he's, doing the thing.
The uniqueness of Frank in that episode is he drives all overnights and likes long trips, which is like, I don't know. I think he's getting better fares than we are, because the long trips here are terrible.
Right.
I've seen stuff from Detroit to GR for like $103.
Well, and we had talked. We have two things about that tonight. One of my stories.
Yep.
And then we actually have later somebody in the Grand Rapids group that posted 2 screenshots out of Detroit, and thanked for the great fares.
Yeah.
Which is like, they're not great fares at all. So
yeah. If you want to join Frank in the Patreon, go to patreon.com/the Gig Econ Podcast, or just search the Gig Economy Podcast. At the higher tier, you get ad-free episodes. And so you don't have to listen to the ads. You get your own RSS feed. Pre-show banter. After the 3rd month, you get a t-shirt. What else am I missing on there? Oh, we do extra shows after. Yep. Sometimes. We're not going to do one today because I've had a long day.
Yeah.
But at least once a month, you'll get an extra show. Go ahead and join and support us if you want to. If you don't, that's okay too. Just support us by listening.
Support us by listening. That's important.
Yes.
And if you do have the means and the wants.
The means and the wants. The wants and the means. And the means and the wants. And wants.
Wow.
Hey,
that's
Thomas,
cool.
Thanks for joining again. Hey, Steve. I'll be on Steve's show tomorrow night. I'm actually hosting the show. It's fucking Steve, does an amazing job. He sends me this. First of all, he goes, just run it like how you'd want to run it. I was like, okay. Steve, I did get your text. I apologize. It's been a crazy day. I'm all set. But then he sends this super detailed thing. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm under pressure like this thing. So it'll be fun. He knows I know how to run a show. So I'm a little nervous, but join me tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on the Ride Your Rodeo page. Maybe
I'll join you.
Yeah, you should.
I can join you.
Yeah,
so
come on.
So obviously, I think we did talk about it, but go to patreon.com/new econ podcast. I think that's what it is, right? Why are you laughing at me?
It's the Gig Econ.
The Gig Econ podcast. Sorry.
Yeah, it's got to be short like that. That's why I always
the Gig Econ podcast.
Just tell people search the Gig Economy.
Yep. And do support us. So we appreciate that at all. So
Oh, you mixed it up. I'm doing the Telegram group. You were supposed to do Patreon.
I did.
I know. I wasn't even looking. If you want to join the Telegram group, which we really would like, it's like the water cool for the gig economy, which a lot of people struggle in the gig economy. The other night, either you weren't out yet or Frank was out and then Ben was out. And I was like, somebody fucking talk to me. Like, I'm bored out of my mind. Like, and they didn't. They were busy doing
the same as me going back home Saturday morning.
Yeah. I bet it was just a ghost town.
But we'll talk about that later. We already did talk about the B-side. Again, if you haven't listened to it, go and listen to it again. This is all about Frank.
Yep.
And he is just a good guy.
Do you remember what we have for next week?
I do not.
So we have a pretty big YouTuber. So you all need to show up. His name is Pedro, and just an incredible creator on YouTube and a gig worker. And it's going to be really fun to have him on the show.
That is awesome.
What time?
Awesome. Well, normal time, right? It's
What's
8 o'clock?
8 p.m. Eastern.
8 p.m. Eastern.
Eastern Daylight time.
That's generally, the B-side is generally half an hour to 40 minutes. So,
yeah, depends on how, if it's, roughly.
Yeah.
Roughly 30
So
minutes.
it's an easy read, easy listen.
This one ain't.
No, I know. So do you want me to just jump into my stories?
Go
because
for
they
it.
are pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I drove last weekend, and I think it was on fire. It was just, it's one of those weekends that for me is gonna go down into history.
And I had a terrible ride share.
Isn't that interesting? Sometimes, like, you and I will hit and miss. Like, I will have a great weekend, and then you will just have a shitty weekend and like giving up and stuff. I don't know what it is. So anyways, I was out. I started Friday night. I started at 8:30, 9 o'clock, roughly that time. And it just went normal. I mean, it was normal. Normally, if I hit $100 before midnight, it's gonna be an okay night.
Okay.
And I hit 90. So I'm close enough.
Close.
It's fine enough, whatever.
Yeah.
And so, about 12:40, it just starts going crazy. I mean, I start getting XL rides left and right.
Really?
Okay.
Were you downtown at that time?
No, I was down on the east side.
Oh, okay.
And so I got an XL rides assigned at the airport 18 minutes away. Right.
Okay.
And it's okay, something's going on. No, actually, at the time, I got the first one assigned. It's like, okay, apparently there's no XL out. I'm the only one out. So, because why else would they pull me 18 minutes?
Yeah.
Then when it got time to me to get it, I still had an XL at the airport, but it was somebody else. So it had been reassigned. Yeah. So it's like, okay, something is up.
Yeah.
So I get to the airport. So to the story goes that last weekend we had a big storm going through Grand Rapids and going through the area. So normally on a normal Friday night, I think we probably have 5 flights after midnight, maybe. Not a ton.
No.
Right. I was at the airport at probably 12:45. Okay. And I am not lying if it was black of people. Okay. They were telling me that 15 to 20 flights had been diverted into Little Grand Rapids.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, it was so bad that the surrounding hotels had stopped giving out, reservations. They just said, show up. We'll figure something out.
Oh, wow.
Because people were calling them, and there was like 5 or 6 people in line trying to get a reservation when they were there.
And you figure there's probably 150 people per plane.
I know.
So
I mean, this was ridiculous. Okay,
wow.
I mean, this was just, and to that was, the rental place, the car rental place closes at midnight.
I know, that is the dumbest. Grand Rapids is so backwards on a lot of stuff. Like, it's so stupid.
I know. And a lot of the people go around and leave at midnight.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, it was just crazy busy. And I mean, if you were out driving, you were cleaning up midnight that night. So I pull in. I got my XL right. It was a guy who was gonna go downtown. He needed an XL because he had golf clubs with him.
Okay.
He was supposed to go to Chicago, where he had a wedding to attend, and then he was gonna go golf. So he had brought his golf clubs out of New York. And so I called him because I got in and he wasn't there. So I called him, hey, what's up? There's people asking. I mean, literally every 2 minutes, people were like knocking on my window. Do you have a fare? Do you have a fare? Do you have a fare? I'm like, yep, sorry. And he goes, I'm here. I'm waiting for my suitcases. I will give you $40 if you wait another 10 minutes. That's what he said. So I was like, okay, well, I'll wait 10 minutes. I'm okay with that. And then 10 minutes went, and he still wasn't there. So I called, he texted me. He goes, 60 is in for you if you keep waiting.
Okay.
So another 10 minutes went by, and he came out, right?
Okay.
And he handed me $80 in cash.
Oh, damn.
Right. And the fare turned into be, because of everything, it ended up being a $35 fare, because you also tipped me $15 on the app. So from the airport downtown, he stayed at the Emory Grand. It was $115 I made just on that one trip. So that was fine.
Damn it.
And so airport was going crazy. That was fine. I get downtown. Now it's 2:00. So the bar is out.
Yeah.
Right. I get a guy assigned, 2 British dudes. They were in a fight. And so one guy gets in my car, and he had like bloody knuckles, right? And he's like, oh, and he was drunk like shit, right? So he's like, he gets in my car, and he's just talking shit about all the other thing and whatever. And I take him home. So I take them home. It was fine. And I end up out by the airport, out by East Grand Rapids. And immediately, again, I get assigned another ride.
Yeah, of course.
Okay? But it wasn't at the airport. So I took another small ride, another small lady I took around. But here's where it gets interesting. So I drop her off, but 5 minutes before I drop her off, I get a ride assigned to Chicago. Okay. And it comes up XL, $222. And I was like, I'm not going to Chicago now.
Yeah, it's like by that time, it's like what, 2:30 in the morning?
2:40, 2:30.
Oh,
2:30.
man.
So I declined it. So I'm not going to Chicago.
Yeah.
Right? Not even a minute later, I get the same ride assigned again.
That's strange. You must have been very few XLs out, because how would you get it again? Like, I know you were kind of the closest.
Here's where it gets crazy. So I decline it, and within 5 minutes, again it comes. So I got the same ride assigned 3 times. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to call the dude.
Let's have a conversation.
So I took the ride, and I called him, and I said, it's 3:00 in the morning. Okay.
I'm drunk. No.
I said, I need some extra cash to get home.
Yeah.
Okay. I said, I need you to give me $200 in cash on top of what the ride is to get home, because I have to deadhead home. And he goes, that's fair.
Wow.
I didn't anticipate that at all. Right. So it's like, okay, let me come to you. Let's talk. Because I drove over to him. He wasn't at the airport. He was actually at one of the hotels that they had tried, and they couldn't get a room.
Oh, and he's like, fuck this.
I know, but they were also a family of 5.
Oh, wow.
Right. So, and they had a reservation at one of the nicer hotels, like downtown Chicago, like right by the water. Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they definitely had the money. He was a lawyer, whatever. And it was a really cool trip. So we got in, we stopped a couple of times. He paid for drinks and snacks and coffee and whatnot. Damn. And yeah, it's $200 on the app and $200 in cash. Right.
So I'm curious, did you look what he paid for that?
No, I did.
You
not.
should go back. I'd be curious if he paid like 400 and some.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Plus 200 to you. So.
Yep. But again, it was a cool ride. They were very nice, and there was, they were just chit chatting and sleeping half the way, and him and his wife and 3 children, which was all adults, so it was fine.
They all sat in the back, right? The guy didn't sit up front with you.
Oh, there was one of the kids sat in front. He just was sleeping.
The front seat by you?
Yeah.
Like the passenger seat right next to you?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I don't care.
Well, I know, but why wouldn't the whole family?
Because I think he kind of wanted to just stay by himself and kind of listen to music, and so it was fine.
Huh.
But because he slept most of the way, and it was totally fine.
Wow.
So yeah, no, that was a cool trip.
And you got home at like what, 9:30 in the morning?
I was home around 8:30.
Oh my god.
8:30, yes. And I was tired because the last hour and a half, I was like, I had my roof was open. And all the windows was open on the highway, and I had loud music, and I was just dancing to the music,
punching yourself in the nuts,
singing out loud because I was tired, and there was nobody talking.
That's rough. That's rough.
There was nobody talking, but and I really enjoyed it. It was a cool trip, and at that rate, I just couldn't say no. I mean, I fully anticipated him saying no. Forget that. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm not giving you an extra $200 in cash.
It's so interesting that you kept getting it. It means either that you were very few XLs, or people kept denying it.
I know.
And it just kept coming back to you like round robin.
It was just, yeah.
Wow.
I've never had and 3 times it got assigned to me.
Huh.
And
I don't think I've ever had that happen.
Now, the 3rd time, the base fare was $20 cheaper, but again, what do I care?
Yeah, what's $20?
I know, right? So I still end up making $400 on, whatever.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
So, and
what
Lyft
a great night.
By the way, Lyft came immediately. Lyft didn't do the whole Uber shit where it waits 24 hours for it to post.
Oh, really?
No, Lyft posted immediately.
Yeah, Lyft never does that. I don't know why Uber does.
So that was interesting. And then Saturday just went out pretty well. I went out Saturday too, and yeah, I did $300 Saturday. So I had.
So the Friday, well, that was really good. So the Friday night I had, the night that Jesper cleaned up, I ended up. It was so. When I get on those quests, I feel like I have to go out early because I'm like 60 rides. I got to pound these out.
Right.
So I go out at like 5:30, and I've got like 9 rides by 9:30. And it was, I mean, that's okay, I guess, but it was still like just like pulling teeth.
I know you said that.
Just sitting around. So all of a sudden I get this request to White Cloud, and I was like, fuck it, I don't care. It was a comfort. You know what I mean? It was 41 miles. But then, so I take it and I'm driving, and I'm just like, now remember, I got this electric car, right? So I can't just go get gas. So I'm thinking, okay, now we're at 82 miles round trip. This is going to kill me. So I dropped them off. It was fine. No tip, by the way, from them. Fucking bullshit.
I know. What is up with that?
So then on my way home, I get a request from Cedar Springs, and I missed to see where it was going, but it was 10 miles east from where I was. Because if you know where Alpine is, where White Cloud is, and then Cedar Springs by 131. So I was like, fuck it. So I go there, I pick them up. They're going to the casino. So I go all the way to the casino, and I'm like, I have 25 miles left on my car.
Were you getting anxious?
I knew I'd make it to Granville, but that was the closest charger was Granville. Like the casino doesn't have any chargers.
Why don't they have a charger?
I don't know. They have more money than God. Like
I know. Put in a couple
Tesla chargers.
I know. Something, right? I mean,
but yeah. So that was my Friday night. I went back home, or I went to the charger, charged 100 miles. A storm rolled in, and I went home, went to bed.
And now you're like, why didn't I go back out?
I don't know. But I ended up the rest of the weekend, I did Amazon Flex. Yeah. I just, at that point, if you don't have enough rides in for that 60 by Friday night, you need at least 25 rides in.
I did get my 45 ride bonus though.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Which was stupid because it was $45.
Ask me if I picked an Uber one this weekend. I did not. I did pick a Lyft one. 30 rides for like, I don't know, $75.
I know my Lyft is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I don't even know why. Now I finished one, so maybe I'll start getting better.
Yeah, I'd be curious. It's up already. You can check.
Yeah, no, I checked earlier and
it wasn't up yet.
No.
Huh. So. And the other story I have from the road, I know we're like 20 minutes in, but like, man, Amazon has been so crazy around here. It took a shit during Prime Week or Prime Day, and there's like fighting in the groups because. Well, because people are like, don't fucking take them at base. And like, and I get that, like, you shouldn't. It's just so frustrating when the money was like, the routes were just plentiful. Like you could like just work 2 or 3 times a day if you wanted. And it's all of a sudden the last 2 days is dried up again, like nothing. So
I know why that is.
I mean, I know it's volume. I get it. It's volume. People maybe aren't ordering. I don't know why, but you would think with back to school coming in 20 days, like, freaking Amazon would be like,
I know,
but
I just got my Amazon. We just got our subscriptions. Got like fucking 4 boxes.
Oh, you're once a month?
Yeah, the Amazon subscription.
Oh god, they hate you.
I know. It was like cat food and all kinds of stuff. It was like a 40-pound cat food bag.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. All right, gig economy in the news. This is a quick video, kind of cool, about a DoorDasher in Hawaii rakes in over $100,000 a year.
Crazy.
It seems crazy. Just a news story.
Welcome back. Economists in Hawaii say the gig economy has provided people with flexible work options, and its success is a testament to the potential that it holds.
As KITV4 Cynthia Yip reports, a DoorDash driver in Hawaii is breaking all expectations by making more than $100,000 a year. It's all new at 6.
This dasher in Hawaii has found a perfect recipe for success, delivering meals, groceries, and pretty much anything else you could want. But more than that, he is serving up a lucrative income.
You can make a lot of money. You can make more than 100,000. It's all about what you want to make. It's all about you.
And it's all about the hustle. Ronald Coleman works 7 days a week and between 12 to 20 hours a day. His goal is to make $400 each day. So that works out to about $33 to $20 an hour. When he looked at his 1099 in 2022, he saw he raked in $114,000. That even surprised him.
It's still mind-blowing, especially doing it in a place like this. If you're willing to put the time and effort into yourself, it's going to pay off.
Economist Paul Brubaker says this is the new economy, with side hustles and non-traditional jobs now the new reality.
It's nothing wrong with having a 9-to-5. There's nothing wrong with doing things the traditional way. But when you think outside the box, and you gain a lot of different knowledge, because we have the technology in the world at the palm of our hand.
Coleman has been coming to Hawaii since 2005. In 2021, he moved to the islands to live with his brother, who has been based at Schofield Barracks for more than 20 years. Since first coming here, Coleman fell in love with Hawaii and its people. On the shores and roads of Hawaii, Ronald Coleman hopes to continue to find success on his journey of opportunity. Cynthia Yip, KTV4 Island News.
Is she having a stroke when she says
No,
Hawaii?
I think that's how you say it.
Yeah,
if
but
you're
she's
from
like
there.
she's like really putting it in there, like Hawaii. Hawaii.
But I think they're trying to make a point.
No, I think she's just one of those people that does that. But anyways,
$114,000. But again, you're working. He's working probably on average 90 hours a week.
That's fucking insane.
I know.
It's not worth it. Like, and then again, all jokes aside, with Jeff with the DoorDash, like his car's got to be smoked. Because I don't know what the land is like in Hawaii. Because as far as like in the city, is it a lot of driving, or it just seems suburb to me? Like there's a lot more driving involved. But my gosh, his car must be just smoked.
Maybe,
or it could be a car like John's. Just put.
Maybe he just bought a beater and he's doing, because I think he was doing mostly delivery.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
it
was. He only made that on DoorDash. He didn't make it on it. Well, maybe he made it on other stuff, but I don't know. It's
cool, but it's possible.
It is possible. I think it's market dependent. I could never do it in Grand Rapids. Never.
Correct.
Ever.
But you also have to be smart.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's the thing too, is he was smart about it.
And I think he has the advantage. There's probably not a lot of dashers out there.
Probably not.
I mean,
probably not. Yeah.
That's not a traditional job for the island at all.
Now, everything is also more expensive in Hawaii.
I thought about that
and
too.
So I'm wondering if the rates is higher.
Yeah. And then when somebody tips 20%, well, you're tipping 20% off $50 instead of $30 in the States, because, well, I mean, Hawaii is in the States, but you know.
No, yeah. On the coast. Yeah. Well, on the mainland.
Well, good for him though.
Absolutely.
Nothing, a knock not against him at all.
No,
I'm just saying that is crazy amount of hours. I don't think I could do that.
No. So this next one here is interesting. This is a way that a guy brings revenge to his non-tippers, which I think is kind of cool. So he goes, this was posted in the Spark Driver community. He goes, "I be riding sparking at night, cutting people's TVs off that don't tip."
Does that work?
Well, I don't know, but he has a
Roku.
That's a Roku remote.
Yeah.
And then, he might have all the other remotes in there too. Maybe this is probably just a TV. But yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe it does. I don't know if it does. And maybe it's just a joke, but I still think it's fun, right? I mean, it's a funny kind of skip or whatever.
Yeah, it all depends. I'm sure. I don't know. Does the remote need to be registered? I don't know. I know
they need to be.
I think they
up.
do too, but
so
that's kind of funny.
Work, but maybe it's a good idea, whatever. But
I don't know. Any way to fuck a non-tipper, like I'm all for.
Anyway,
Janet said also Hawaii, lots of visitors, tourists who don't know where to eat. Is that going to be you when you visit the States, Janet? Are you going to DoorDash everything?
Hey, I'll take you around. I can lift you around, Janet.
Now he ain't gonna Uber you around.
No, probably not, because they're still like, now they're saying Another thing, August 12th.
Why even bother even looking?
I know. Right?
I don't even know why they just keep pushing it off.
Well, it's not Uber, it's Checker.
You should be calling them.
I tried that in the past. You can't. There's nobody to
Well,
call.
well,
on Checker.
email support then.
Yeah, but even if you do, all they do is say all you can do
You
is
gotta
wait.
keep doing it.
I don't want to be there.
Call the bet. Why?
Because last weekend I did bank and left.
Yeah, until they deactivate you again for being a lead foot.
Hey,
This
I
is
have
how-
not gotten any tickets.
This is how AI will change the gig economy for the better. So I read this article, so bear with me. I don't know. It seems a little weird, but so it talks about artificial intelligence could augment work and add more opportunities to the job market. Basically what they're saying is that Fiverr data shows that freelancers are using AI as a tool that augments creative work but doesn't replace humans. That's always the question, right? Like, could it replace this show? Which it could in time. I think it could, but
Sure.
But it doesn't replace humans. Instead, she says AI creating new jobs and opportunities because it speeds up manual and analog work, allowing freelancers to spend more time on creative and interpersonal tasks. I mean, we all know that the creative is never. I mean, yes, you can AI something, but I think you're going to be able to sniff it out. Like, it just seems like AI creative. Like someone didn't use their brain to do that.
Right. And I mean, a lot of what it's on, take down the Spark thing on the.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, but a lot of, I mean, in my day job, I'm a web developer and we do a marketing agency. So we're talking a lot about how do we effectively use ChatGPT and some of the other AI services to create content.
Yeah.
And it's still great content that they produce, but it's very clinical. Okay?
Yes.
But what we are finding that is really beneficial is Google, the chat generator, the AI generated content does the research for us.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So a lot of the points that they put in there is good.
Slide your mic over a little.
Sorry.
bit.
A lot of the points that they put into the content is good points.
Yeah.
And so at that point, it's a lot easier to change content and make it sound better or different than having to recreate it.
No, 100%. I mean,
So,
we use it. We use it in our stuff and a lot of our posts, and then I go in there and I'm like, that
exactly.
doesn't work. That doesn't sound like something we would talk about.
Absolutely.
Stuff like that.
But I think that article is talking more about those type of gig works.
Yeah.
Then it's not your Uber and your Lyft yet, obviously.
But I mean, I guess how is it going to create more opportunities? I guess I was like reading the article and it was hard for me to figure that out. You know what I mean? Like, how is it going to create more opportunities?
Well, I think maybe it's meaning that people who are not normally used to creating content now they can.
Oh,
so from that perspective, it's creating that, but it's at the same way it's taking away jobs.
Yeah.
So, but again, we were just, I was just doing we were doing a factory tour today with a friend, for a manufacturing company, people that made manufacturing jobs, and in Michigan right now, there's a huge problem. People were having that kind of people who will man manufacturing jobs. We just there's not enough people.
Okay.
So even if the companies put another line in, another robotic line or whatever, and there's not enough people to actually man the line.
Okay.
I mean, that's what the companies are finding right now is so hard to figure that out. And so what they're finding is, and this was very interesting, this particular company has had clients reach out to them and to say, I want you to take these 3 employees and train them in this job because I have work. I'm missing a lot of opportunity over here on this line where I don't have enough people.
Yeah.
So if you train 3 people from over there, and then the people they used to do this job, let's put another line in on this job. That line that they're producing, that the robots they're gonna put in that place, are never gonna make up that money. However, those 3 people are gonna triple the revenue on this line over here. So that revenue is gonna more than cover the loss over here.
Oh,
so what they're doing is they're training the people that they do have in better jobs.
Okay.
So that they make more money.
In the mundane stuff they give to the stuff that doesn't make a ton of money anyways.
Put robots in place. Yeah, it's that.
That makes sense.
Because they can't get people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what people are saying. After the pandemic, a ton of the manufacturing companies left Michigan. The manufacturing people left Michigan.
Do they say why? Because they're not paying enough, or
I don't know. I don't know. It's people. I talked to some of the people who think they know, and a lot of people think that they used some of the pandemic money. That all of a sudden now they had an extra $2,000 to $3,000, so they used that money to reposition them because they really didn't like the Michigan win or whatever.
Yeah.
So they
I
took that
see.
money and moved south.
Yeah.
Because now they had the extra money.
I mean, the pay still is a factor. In fact, today as I was driving down Baldwin, I saw Little Caesars said we're hiring opers at $12 an hour, and I chuckled because my 15-year-old daughter makes $11.50 at Culver. So like, you gotta offer $15 or $16 an hour to get somebody in there. If my daughter can make more than minimum wage at 15, what the fuck is Little Caesars doing?
I know.
I just kind of chuckled when I drove by.
I know. It is just.
So tell me about this Uber CEO Dara that was stunned by a $52 fare, which is ridiculous.
Yes, it is ridiculous. So the story goes that it's actually not the CEO that did the fare. It's the person who wrote the article. So basically.
They let him know how much it cost.
Yeah, so the writer of the article who drove into the I guess news, whatever it was telling him then, hey, for me to get over here, it cost me $52, right? To get over here on a 3-mile ride in New York Center. 3 miles for $52, right?
Oh my!
But here comes the interesting part. They were saying we figured it should cost maybe $20, right? Nothing, whatever. But then Dara goes into saying, well, he's like, it's how is it? He goes, surge pricing, he goes, right? Mm-hmm. And then the writer goes, but a surge makes no sense. It's 10 a.m. on a sunny weekday, and it's not like the president's in town. So there is no reason why there would have been surging at that time.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So again, he was really bringing up the algorithms.
Yeah.
Right. Which is, we all constantly talking about those, why is that? So why was it surging at 10 a.m. on a weekday?
But don't you think New York surges all the time though?
I don't know.
I mean,
but should it surge all the time?
I mean, they can control it.
They can do whatever they want, but that doesn't make it right.
Don't you feel like now that they're a public company, there's more open?
So that's what he brings it up for. He goes into that is because the whole point is that this is the first quarter ever that Uber is reporting that they're ahead.
No way.
Yes, right. So that's the thing. So they've actually reported a not a loss for the quarter. So they were projecting. Where was it here? So let's see. So the company recorded a profit of $394 million in the 3-month period ending June 30th, a massive improvement from the $2.6 billion loss it posted this time last year.
Wow! So they reported a $394 million.
$394 million.
That's huge
for the quarter, right? So basically what he's going, well, maybe it's because there's too many searches.
Oh.
Like the algorithm isn't really fair.
Oh, I see. That's funny.
So the company also predicts that it will see additional operating profits by the end of Q3 on September 30. So basically, they're saying that they turned it around and now they're going to they think they're going to start making money now. So we'll see.
Yeah. But I guess it goes back to my original question. Now, if it's public, can't somebody like say, hey, we want to see how these surges work? Or like, I don't know who would be able to look at that.
You can't.
Even though it's public, it's still
the company is public. Yeah. But that the IP is private.
Yeah. That's what I mean. What do they call it?
The intellectual property.
That can be hidden.
But here's the interesting part. And this is here. So revenue rose 14% year over year to $9.2 billion, right? But there's a total transactions on the app grew 16% to $33.6 billion in 2022.
That's crazy. With a B.
With a B. $33 billion in transactions running through the app. How crazy is that?
You don't understand. I mean, people don't understand what $1 billion is. Like $1 billion, like how much that actually
It's
is.
1,000 millions.
I tried to explain that to my daughter because the lottery around here was like 1.03 billion. I'm like, do you realize that's 1,000 millions? Like you can't even spend that much.
Well, listen to this. You can't spend the interest of that every day.
I know.
Try and spend the interest you make on that every day.
I mean, you could, but I mean, like in a normal life, you wouldn't be able to. Like, yeah, if you're buying jets and yachts and everything, of course.
Yes.
But I mean, like you could buy a house a day and it wouldn't, like, you could buy 1 million, like 1,000 millions. You could buy 1,000 houses for $1 million a year, and it would be like me.
Right.
Me.
Meh.
That's crazy. Tom says, "Oh man, my ass. How you doing? Old man, my ass. How you doing?" Oh, because I think I called him old the last show. Tom's the king of like dropping stuff. I have no idea what he's talking about. I think that's what he's talking about.
Maybe it is.
All right, coming up,
old Tom, you're good.
Yeah, he's probably late 50s, I would guess.
But again, if he's old, then we are old too.
Yeah, I am.
We're not going there. We're not old.
All right, so this video, I'm sorry for the audio listeners. It's basically a van that has a DoorDash sticker on the back. That I was, so it's a little long. I should have trimmed this down because he recorded her. This fucking van backed up and drove away. I swear to God, I gotta post this on social because this is incredible. So we'll watch it and talk about it. Oh, there's no sound. So but so describe the tire. What would you say? Almost a 45-degree angle?
Yeah.
Like it's not quite a 90 because that would be weird because it would be, but I mean it's angled so bad.
It's probably a 40-degree angle.
Yeah, maybe not 45.
But it's ridiculous.
But I mean, she backs up and drives out of the parking lot and she does it slow, but I mean, if it works, I mean,
but only very little.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like she hits a bump and that's all she wrote.
It's not playing.
It's playing. It's just this dumbass recorded it for 15 minutes before she goes in reverse.
Well, mine says your browser failed to play the video clip.
Oh, well, I don't know. I'm watching it right now.
Oh, sorry, Mom. No.
Well, you got a freaking. So then she backs out. Oh, the other side's not great either.
I know, but
it's not as bad as the driver. Oh my God.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Speaking of lowriders, I've noticed in my car that I need to be really careful on speed bumps. That motherfucker sits low and the battery, like maybe the batteries. No, that's in Tesla. My battery's up front. I don't know what I'm hitting. I hope it's a skid plate because I went over a speed bump earlier and it went, I was like, oh, fuck. So
I used to have that on the Mazda. It had a heat shield on the engine.
Yeah.
But it was made out of plastic.
Oh.
So
How is it can't be plastic if it's a heat shield.
The outside of it was plastic and there was a
metal on the inside.
Yeah.
Okay, but scrape the shit out of it.
Yeah, and the thing keeps breaking.
Did you just rip it off of it?
Oh, yeah, it's gone.
Jack it up. And
it's gone.
Is that thing still alive?
It still drives. I mean,
yeah.
Max will drive it to work.
What's he going to do? Is he driving that to?
Oh, no. Hell no.
You guys just dropping him off? And
yeah.
Is everything relatively accessible?
Yeah. And so Houghton is a small town. And if you're on college, you get free ride, you get free access to the public transportation,
and it's decent.
Oh yeah,
okay,
and it goes every
because like here you need to get on the bus. You have to go somewhere. It takes 3 hours.
Oh no, you can walk downtown in 5 minutes from the hotel from the college. So it's not. And then if you need to go to some of the stores, Walmart or something like that, you take the bus and it takes you 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever.
Okay,
so it's not crazy. But it's a small community. It's a small community.
Okay.
So, but he's excited, so it's fun.
Cool. Octopus Tablet, one of our sponsors that we work with. Jesper finally got his.
I did.
Did you get some feedback?
I did.
Okay.
Well, what do you mean? Did I get? Oh yeah, people loved it.
Yeah,
people love it, and I did get my starting bonus, my $25.
Good.
Which means I made 52 points.
52. Yeah. So it is a slow grind to get, like, basically
but 2 days. So it wasn't slow.
But I mean, to get your $25.
No, yeah, my first $20. Because the thing is, so it's 250 points for every $25 after that.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So, but
Did you get some bonus points at the beginning or something?
No, but there's a sign-up bonus. So
yeah.
you get the $25 after 50 points.
Okay.
So that's how it is.
Gotcha.
That's how the sign-up bonus works.
Okay. And then 250 points for every $25.
Yes,
So
yes.
you can earn up to about $100 a month. They do
If
giveaways
you
all the
drive
time.
every day, I would think, yeah.
I don't know. I bet if you drive every weekend, you could do it because the taps increase the amount of points you get. So it's not just driving.
Oh, okay.
So if you do like a 60 ride quest, there's a lot of people in the back of your car.
Oh, that's
you know
true.
what I mean?
Yep,
so
true.
But yeah, I think if you did it every weekend, you would get $100 a month.
Maybe
not. I don't know.
Could.
But check it out. The link is in the description, and
it really does help us.
Yeah, it does help us, and then it helps you make money.
I was telling people how it works and how people, this is a company and just send us the app, and people are like, really, this is really cool.
Yeah.
And they're like, do you pay anything for it? No, they pay me a little bit.
People don't understand that.
Yeah.
You're like, it's free. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's free.
And they give me a little bit of money.
And they give me a little money.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they're making money too. They wouldn't do it if and they're really really driver focused,
right,
which is unheard of in the
I had
economy.
2 people who said, I learned something about you on the app. They said, because I put in there, I use my tips to travel with and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so
I put I'm a podcaster, so that always drums up a little bit of conversation.
Nice.
Yeah. So
I should do that too.
You should. All right. Next up, this is just a funny name. I don't understand how they can do this. This is yours.
Yeah, I'm lost. Hang on.
It's okay. Sorry. Unless I'm out of order. It's under Octopus tablet.
Yeah, there it is. Okay. Yeah. So this one is interesting because it's just, yeah. So again, this is DoorDash, and DoorDash apparently don't have these, rules for what you can call.
Well, this is the Dasher.
No, I know, but that's the thing. So,
okay.
so why it's a Uber? They have that thing about you can't call people, right? So, anyways, the interesting part of this one is that the Dasher's name is Wheat Granny.
Yeah, like,
and it's like, why? But how has that even been allowed?
I don't know.
What I'm trying to, And if I got that Dash, I would cancel her.
Do you think? Again, me being dumb.
Can you cancel the Dasher?
Yeah, you cancel the order. You can't just get a new Dasher.
Well, that's the thing.
It's not like Uber.
I don't want Wheat Granny to give me.
Yeah, I mean, you cancel it. It cancels everything.
Yeah, I know.
And they're not going to give you your money back.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
tough to get your money back through DoorDash. So, but anyways, Weed Granny, I guess that's interesting.
Yeah, Wheat Granny.
This next one, I love this one, and maybe you can explain it a little bit better. But it says, and again, I don't know if he literally has this. He must have this on here. It says, my name is John. You know my name, car type, and license plate. Don't ask me for your name. Tell me who you are. So, what is the actual rule? Remember, we used to talk about this and go round and round, and people would get fussy.
Right.
What is the actual proper procedure?
That is what you're supposed to be. They're supposed to go in. They're going to say, "Are you looking for X? Are you here to pick up my name,
Jamie, or whatever?" That's what's supposed to happen.
Right. And I always do it differently. I always do the opposite. I always go in and I say, "Are you Johnny?" or whatever. "Are you Melinda?" Whatever it is.
The problem is, though, again, going back to the discussion, they could be freaking Frank and they're just going to lie.
Correct.
But again, why would you lie? Because I always think that when I think people are lying to me about their name, whatever, because, you just kind of feel off on some rides.
Yep.
I'm like, why are you going to just let me take you to freaking BFE? Like, unless you're actually going that distance.
Correct. But I also think it's different from market to market.
Okay.
I think it's more important you follow the rules in New York.
Yeah.
Than in small Grand Rapids.
I mean, I've had two people try to steal rides once. Just 2 out of 7,000 rides.
I've had one in all the 8,000 rides. I've had one actually steal my ride.
And actually successfully did it?
Yes. But it was because she was so damn drunk.
Well, see, yeah, that's just.
And she didn't even know what she was doing.
Yeah.
And when I got there, I dropped her off. She goes, and I just knew.
When she looked like that?
I just knew that this is not where you were going. And she got out and she fell onto the lawn.
And you just left her
I
there.
just left.
Jesper, she could be still sitting there.
Hopefully not. It was like 6 years ago. So I hope not.
I know. This guy seems like a prick, though. I mean, to put that on there, that is weird.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I get his frustration. I mean,
Yeah.
he's just probably fed up with it.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely. So this one here is another of the little bit of a boring story. We had kind of a low a low week news week, if you will. But this way is about Uber shares that falls as fears over Lyft's pricing eclipses the first operating profit. So basically, we just talked about it, that Uber now has their first operating profit,
which is amazing.
It's amazing. However, their share price still fell because fears over Lyft's pricing increase. So basically, because now they think that Lyft is getting their shit together and kind of doing there, and so now there's some fear that Lyft is going to start doing better. So now Uber is not. So
I see.
It's what
Lyft is doing better.
I guess.
I keep
I keep hearing that Lyft is still taking, still doing bullshit rides, and that they're still charging way too much for the riders and all that stuff. But apparently they're doing better. So basically, August 1st, Uber shares fall 6% on Tuesday after the ride-hailing company warned Lyft was competing effectively on prices and set an earnings forecast that analysts said may have disappointed investors who have driven up the stock twofold this year. So basically, they're thinking now that Lyft is more of a competitor than they first thought, because they're getting their shit together and actually know how to price.
I would figure that they would. I mean, I know I threw them under the bus a lot, but it's just taking them a little longer from the pandemic to recover because they only had rides.
Right.
They didn't have the eats.
But exactly, they don't have all this shit spread on everything else. Now, I must say, after I'm back on Lyft, I am not that happy with the Lyft app. The Lyft app is clunky compared to Uber.
I think Uber has excelled in the last 2 years. But remember, a couple years before the pandemic, when Lyft came, Lyft app was so much better. It was more pleasant. It seemed to work better, and the Uber app was just clunky. And now it's exact opposite. Uber has got a great app. I hate to say it.
No, Uber's app is great.
Yeah, everything is seamless. It never really bugs out. I mean, for the most part, I enjoy it.
Unless, of course, they come up with the error message that locks everybody in Michigan out for 3 days.
Okay. When Uber does it, they do it big. Yeah, and when Lyft does it, it's buggy all the time. So
right.
Janet said when her packs gets in, I asked them where they are going. If address doesn't match, I ask for the name. I do too. I always ask, hey, where are you heading?
Right.
Or I'll say, are you heading to this street? What's the numbers, just to get a little bit of information.
And I do the same thing. I confirm. I ask for the name, and then I confirm where you're going.
Yeah.
And they will say, they might say, well, it's in the app. So that doesn't matter. I'd like to double check.
Yeah.
So please tell me where you're going.
I mean, at least when I was driving regularly, at least once a week, someone had put the wrong address in.
Oh, absolutely.
So you catch that instead of driving there and be like, oh, fuck. Because you already got another ride in the queue and you're like, oh, God, no, you're getting out here, bitch. I'm trying to hit this quest.
I know. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Cancel.
Right. Real quick, Gary Middleton, the man, the myth, the legend, Maximo,
dun, dun, dun.
Flexalert, and Driver Utility Helper. All these apps you can customize to your settings to make more money, to be safer on the road, to auto decline rides, to auto accept rides, how far you want to drive, all that stuff. So, and
I'd like to point one thing out that's pretty cool with Maximo is it lets you only do XL rides on Lyft if you want to.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because
you can auto decline everything else.
That's right.
So
that's
pretty
worth
cool.
the weight in gold there, because
I
don't know why Lyft doesn't do that.
I know, right?
It's so stupid.
Why would they not do that?
I don't know. They're dumb. But yeah, I never thought about that. You're right. Yeah, you can get rid of those pesky Lyft X rides if you don't, or classics or whatever the fuck they call them. All right, yes.
So this next one here was interesting. These are the 2 rides that we're talking about. Here's one. So again, look first. So there's 5 minutes for him to go pick them up at Air Canada in Detroit. So this is at the airport. And then there's 53 minutes to go to Toledo. And he's getting paid $35. Like, that's no, there's no way I would do that.
I think Detroit has the worst prices in Michigan.
I know, but he posted, whoever posted, I forget who posted, he like, thank you so much for Uber for finally coming through with some good rides. We're like, what the fuck? This isn't good rides. Here's another one. 4 hours from Auburn Hills to Columbus. Right,
200 miles.
3 hours and 51 minutes, 199 miles for 130 minutes,
$130.
$130. Right?
Yeah.
And how much is that going to be in gas? I mean, there and back. He's got to go. You got a deadhead back.
Yeah.
So you're looking at least $60, $70 in gas.
It's just not worth it.
And then you made what, $60 for 4 hours? For 8 hours? Because you're heading back.
This is what everyone says though. Well, you can write the miles off.
Well, you can.
Yeah, but it still doesn't put money in your wallet in
Not
the
right
moment.
now.
You know what I mean? Maybe at the end of the year.
But again, look at it this way: you just made $60 for 8 hours.
Yeah, look at this guy's rating to a 4.65. Like, there's something going on there. That's pretty low.
This is not a good ride, guys.
No.
And please stop saying that it is. This is not a good ride.
No.
And if you did, if you take it, please tell me you negotiate a return fare. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and Steve said dumbest driver ever took that. People have take it too. That guy just took screenshots and then just
absolutely
let it go on. But
I did. I was going to say that too. Saturday, I did actually cancel a ride to Detroit.
Oh,
from Grand Rapids.
Yeah,
and that was gonna be it was $159 to Detroit. It was an XL ride.
Okay,
but I said I'm not doing that.
See, why was Lyft 202? But
well, it was an hour late more.
Oh yeah, because you're going to Chicago.
Oh, yeah, Chicago's 3 hours. Detroit is 2.
Yeah. Well, shut the fuck up. I hate you. All right, I like this. This is something that I'm gonna be positive for. DoorDash. It said add a tip, $4, 100% of your tip goes to Dashers, and it says on the bottom, tips help motivate a Dasher to quickly accept your order. Dashers are free to accept or decline any orders, and tips can help them make orders more attractive to fulfill. Yes, this is what we need. This is what we need on the this is why Uber should do this.
But is this actually what it says?
I mean, I guess I haven't ordered DoorDash in a hot second. You know what I mean? I mean, this is
because I'm sorry, that's not what a tip is. I'm sorry. I know that's what it is in DoorDash, but that's not what a tip is meant to be.
Well, of course not. But this has become a bid for service.
I understand.
Yeah,
I understand. But if they're actually putting that verbiage in the app, then we have a different problem.
Well, what's the problem?
The problem is they're changing what a tip is.
Well, they can take it away.
I know, but they should be paying more for the
no rides. Jesper, you're sounding like an employee.
I don't want to be an employee.
But my point is that you're asking DoorDash to pay more, Jeff.
Well, no, I'm asking them to pay what it should be paying.
Well, what is it?
Not $2.65 for a fucking cup of coffee.
Well, I know, but my point is what about Uber? Same thing for Uber, right?
Absolutely.
So the minimum fare for Uber is, let's say, $2.80. You want them to pay more? I mean, of course, we all want them to pay more.
Right.
But if that's my point.
I think it's different, though, because the minimum fare for two. So let's walk down this path for a little bit.
All right.
The minimum fare for Uber, okay, is what for an Uber normal people in my car is $2.65, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I don't have to get out of my car. I just have to go there, pick up the ass or whatever he is, right?
Because he's only going 1 mile.
And he's not tipping, right? And I got to drive a mile up the street and drop him off.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. I don't have to convenience myself at all. I don't get out of the car. I don't do shit. I don't have to go in and pick up the order. I don't have to wait for the restaurant to get it done and all that stuff. There's none of that.
Right.
I'm okay with that minimum ride. I'm not okay with a minimum of an Uber Eats order being that low.
Yeah, because you have to drive to the store. You have to get in the car. You have to park.
There's a lot more time involved.
But don't you think that that's why this is nice to have that bid for service? Because then
of course it's nice. I don't disagree with it, but they're changing what a tip is.
Are you frustrated as a consumer or a gig worker for this?
As a gig worker.
See, I wouldn't. I want more money. The bottom line is I don't care where my money comes from. If it comes from the customer or it comes from DoorDash, I don't care.
I understand that. And I think this is good that they put it in the app because I do think it's going to help people tip more.
Yeah.
But they're changing what a tip is.
No,
a tip shouldn't be
a bid for service.
No, it shouldn't be.
But no one tips after the service. That's the problem.
I understand.
Because it's an impersonal transaction.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even Uber, even though it is
So
personal,
charge $2 extra and give us $2 extra and be done with it.
yeah, but I'm not taking that order for $4.50.
Well, whatever it is.
I know, but that's my point.
What if they only tip $2?
Well, I wouldn't take that either. You know what I mean? I guess my point is
Right.
like, I like that they're doing it. Of course. Do I want DoorDash to give us a higher base? Of course.
Right.
If they would give us a $10 base, that would be great. Then I wouldn't care what the tip was. I'll just do, 10 of these and make $100.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I just like that they're actually saying something, because I feel like that's what it is. It's a bid for service. And if you got terrible service, then I guess you can take it back.
You are absolutely correct. It is fine that it's in there, but I don't like that they're changing what a tip is.
Just for food delivery.
Yeah, but then what is going to stop there for?
Well, where else would that be changed? I'm curious.
I don't know. I mean, are they going to stop? Does it mean they're going to stop tipping in the restaurants?
Well, but you wouldn't do that in the restaurant because it's a personal interaction. You know what I mean? Like, you're talking to the person, you're doing the thing. I mean, I wouldn't expect the restaurant to say, well, if you want a table, you're going to give us $30.
That's your food faster.
Yeah. I'm going to need $30. That would never fly. But I see what you're saying a little bit, but I don't care. I like it. I think it's beneficial to everybody. Well, except the consumer.
From that perspective, I do think it's helping
and I think some people
drivers.
do get it, because I'm telling you, if I get a good order, I got one today. It was like 6 miles for $10.50. I stopped everything that I was doing. I was door dashing. I was even on DoorDash. I got on today and I fucking paused it and took that Uber Eats, because I'm like, that's a bid for service. Like, I'm gonna and prioritize it. Did it right. Followed the instructions to a T, because they gave a good tip. And in fact, it was for $10.48. When I went in my Uber app, it said $17. So they tip more.
There you go.
So that's the thing. Like, clearly they like the service.
Right.
I think what happened actually is I didn't read the instructions, and I went to go put it down in the front, and then I read them and it said, oh, it needed to be in the back. So I'm telling you, because of that tip, I didn't know I was getting the extra one.
Right.
Because they tip appropriately, I picked it up and put it back. If it was like a $2.50
Right.
DoorDash, I would have left it there.
Right.
I got one more example. I did a batch for Walmart today.
Okay.
I had a fucking TV in the car.
You had a TV?
55-inch in my EV.
Oh my gosh.
Fits perfectly, by the way. Now, a batch order, there's no tips on it.
How does it look on your wall?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right there. That's 55-inch right there. No, so for a batch order, there's no tips. So I'm making roughly $2.50 per delivery. This was at an apartment downtown on the 3rd floor. I'm like, there ain't no fucking way I'm bringing this up to the 3rd floor. Not for free.
Right.
So I walked up, and it said in the notes, you can buzz 310 if you need to get in. So I brought the TV. I set it right next to the door. I buzzed 310. She's like, what? I was like, hey, it's Walmart. I have your delivery. Okay, I'll be right now. Snapped a picture and got the fuck out of there. Because I know she was going to come down and say, hey, can you bring this up? I'm like, hell no, I'm not going to bring it up for $2.50. That's the thing. It's a bid for service. If she said, hey, I'll give you $20 if you bring this up there, you think I would have brought that fucking
But you didn't wait for it to tell her.
That's
that.
true. I was assuming she was going to be like, can you please bring this up? It's part of the service.
You should have just said, where's $20?
Yeah. No, because then I get fired. I get fucking deactivated. So
just leave.
Yeah.
So now tomorrow, somebody stole my fucking TV.
I hate that Walmart does that. They're getting away with not shipping it through FedEx and UPS on us drivers. I think it's bullshit. The other day I got a batch order. It was 2 fucking bikes. I denied it. I'm like, I'm not putting 2 bikes in my. First of all, I have a way smaller SUV now, and it's brand new. I'm not putting 2 bikes in here. And she's like, you're really declining it? I'm like, yeah, I'm canceling. She's like, all right. I was like, I'm not putting these bikes in here. Fuck that. The TV's whatever. They're light. I manhandled it. Like, it's not even that heavy.
2 bikes.
2 bikes plus a bunch of other packages. You think that's gonna work?
No.
All right, I'm gonna do this
We're
last
out of
one,
time.
and then we're gonna wrap it up.
Yep.
You actually didn't add this. You gave me the picture, but it wasn't in the rundown.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Conflicted tipping deaf Uber driver. You're not. You guys are gonna like this one. So last month I had a 20-minute Uber ride from Jersey City to EWR or whatever. My driver was deaf, which is not a problem. But then for the entire 20 minutes, he was on FaceTime with a phone on his phone holder and having sign language conversation. It was around 5 a.m., so it's dark and visibility is already not great. And he was signing and looking into his phone the entire time. So I did not feel he paid adequate attention to the road, thus reducing the safety for me, the passenger. Given that he was jeopardizing my safety, I did not want to tip, but I also felt bad not to tip. Why'd you tip someone with a disability? In the end, so he got a poverty tip because he has this. Right. In the end, I tipped the 20%, but because I expensed it anyways. But I wanted to get some opinions here, what I should have done. Since he was deaf, I could not address the issue with him directly. Oh, there's so many wrong things there. You shouldn't have tipped him because that just
no.
And then you got it, and you didn't talk to him. Okay, I get it. You can't. He can read lips, by the way. He's a professional lip reader, so he would act like he wouldn't know, but he'd know exactly.
Yep.
Everyone can see the word. You know what I mean? Like they know what that means.
Right.
She should have reported it to Uber. Like it's super dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing if he was talking, but he's signing while he's driving, so he's driving with his knee.
Both hands.
I mean, I know you can do a lot of letters with one hand, but you need a lot of like, I don't know. I'm just doing shit. I don't know. I'm probably doing gang signs.
I know.
But I can't believe she still tipped him. That's just like continuing the problem and then not addressing it.
No tip, low rating, and
message Uber.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. She feels bad because he's deaf, but he's not. I mean, he's deaf. He's not stupid.
And he's not blind.
He's not blind. Like
exactly.
He can.
Right.
I mean, it's not like a disability where he can't go work. He can work anywhere. I mean,
he shouldn't be on the phone.
No, I agree. But I mean, she like felt bad for him. Like he's an Uber driver. He's deaf. I should tip him. Like, no, fuck him. He shouldn't be doing that.
No.
So anyways, I mean,
he should not be doing that. Absolutely not.
I think people feel so bad on the tipping. Like I talked to my wife the other day. Everyone's asking for a tip.
How often do you do that?
At least once a day. And we went to Tippy Cow. It's an ice cream place in Granville.
Yeah.
And it asked for a tip. I'm like, did you tip? She goes, yeah, I always do. I'm like, fucking why? She's like, well, it's asking. I'm like, they deserve a tip. I mean, the employer, we're going back to where DoorDash, where we should pay more. But this is not like they're just doing a job. Like they're scooping ice cream. They shouldn't get a tip. I hate that.
I tip there.
You do?
I tip at ice cream places, yeah.
Do you tip everywhere? Ask for a tip?
Pretty much.
Like if you went to Starbucks.
Listen, I tip my hairdresser. Okay.
That's different. That has been a standard practice for generations. That's a service they're providing to you.
You know what I did, and not that I'm not patting my own back, but there was one time my hairdresser, she's pretty cool, by the way. I actually not going there anymore, but I was going at one point.
She was cool, but I fired her. Anyways, I'm gonna send it.
So
to
she
her.
was going to Cancun. And so I tipped her $50 to have a drink on me.
$50?
Yeah. It's like, you have a drink on me. You and a girlfriend.
Jeez.
Yeah. She was cool.
Fucking money bags over there. But a hairdresser, you would tip. A barber, you tip. I mean, you don't tip your garbage man, do you? Do you tip your lawn guy that fertilizes your lawn?
I don't have one.
I know, but my point is, do you tip those guys? They're still providing a service.
Correct. Do you tip your mailman?
No. I don't know who that is. There's no relationship.
Yeah, I know.
There's no relationship with the garbage man. Unless the garbage man's taking extra shit. And then at the end of the year, I'll be like, yeah, thank you for not fucking reporting me to your boss. You know what I mean? Because they probably have a rule. They can only take like one extra bag. Not that I have that much, but yeah, I don't know. The tipping thing is just weird to me.
Yeah.
I mean the tipping is so big with DoorDash because you're using your car and your time.
I mean, listen to this. I tipped today. We went out and we went to a buffet place. I tipped the buffet place.
Like the people cleaning your table.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they clean your plates, I'll tip because they're cleaning up.
It's the buffet.
Yeah, but it's still they're probably not getting a regular hourly wage. They're probably getting tip like $2.65 plus tips, you know. I don't know. I'm pro tipping in the appropriate spots. It's like, I don't know. No, I don't ever.
I still remember that first time you jumped in my car. You tipped me $20.
Well, yeah, but we were friends, weren't we?
I think it was early on.
Yeah, but still. Oh, I'm gonna tip my Uber driver. I mean, they're using their own car. Like that's where the tips should be double. You're in a restaurant. I am on a soapbox over here. You're in a restaurant and the server's not paying for the electricity
Right.
and all that. And we tip them 20%, but I'm driving you around using my car. I have to provide maintenance. Uber provides me fucking nothing. And you
Right.
don't tip.
Speaking of tips, so I told you how much I made last weekend, right?
Yeah.
I actually made an additional $20 in tips since then.
I love it when they trickle in.
I know, right? It's
By the way, the casino run was a bunch of fucking guys from Chicago golfing. They didn't tip me either.
Why didn't they tip you?
I don't know.
I had people coming in for the golfing
Maybe I'm just a dick. But
yeah,
then in the morning, I was down doing a Whole Foods and I turned my app on. I picked these gals up from the casino, took them downtown. They fucking tipped me $10. So it's like,
There you
it's
go.
so weird.
I know.
The tipping is so weird. Like these guys were drunk too. They had golfed all day, drank. It's 10:30 and they're going to the casino and they have to golf in the morning. I don't have that kind of energy or stamina. Like,
know.
that's fucking crazy.
So yeah, how do you do that?
How
dude?
do you do
I
that?
know.
And these are older men. I'm like,
They are used to drinking.
they
dude.
must be because I would be passed out.
The body tomorrow would be ridiculous. There's no
Oh,
way
yeah,
I'm getting
and they're
out.
gonna go golf like 36 holes. I'm like,
no.
you're gonna be sleeping on the fairway. That's what's gonna be happening. Well, anyways, guys, thanks
Thank
so
you
much.
so much.
I
It's been
appreciate
fun.
everyone listening to the show. I appreciate every one of you. And as always, don't put up with anyone's bullshit.
And we'll see you on the road.
Good night.
Good night.